of this century's most violent sport.
Jack Dempsey, George Carpentier, Gene Tunney, Max Schmeling, Primo Carnera, Max Baer, Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, Floyd Patterson, Sonny Liston, Cassius Clay, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Mike Tyson.
Heavyweight champions of the world, holders of sport's richest prize, the true icons of the century of moving pictures, a mirror of their age, the kings of the ring. Summer 1919, Jess Willard, the heavyweight champion of the world, took a train to Toledo, Ohio. For a purse of $100,000, he was ready to defend his title against a new pretender to the throne, the Manasseh Mauler, Jack Dempsey. Willard had held the title for 4 years. He entered the ring an overweight 245 pounds, 60 pounds heavier than Dempsey. In the first round, and for the first time in his 8-year career, Jess Willard was knocked to the canvas. He went down 6 more times in the first round alone under Dempsey's remorseless assault. Later, he alleged that Dempsey's bandages had been hardened with plaster of Paris. After taking a merciless beating for 3 rounds, Willard couldn't answer the bell for round 4. Jack Dempsey was the new heavyweight champion of the world. He was the latest in a list including John L. Sullivan, Gentleman Jim Corbett, Bob Fitzsimmons, James J. Jeffries, Tommy Burns, and Jack Johnson. Jack Dempsey destroyed Jess Willard on July the 4th, 1919, 1 year and 1 week after the end of the First World War. The Allies who had won the war were soon to become competitors inside the ring. The Frenchman Georges Carpentier arrived to take a tilt at Dempsey's crown. Carpentier had been decorated for bravery. Dempsey was said to have dodged the draft. It was a match made in heaven by the legendary promoter Tex Rickard. Carpentier, the darling of the ladies, was a mere middleweight, lighter than Dempsey and with a shorter reach. And he was blessed with the worst nickname in the history of heavyweight boxing. They called him the Orchid Man. Public opinion was against Dempsey. The majority of boxing fans and sports writers favoured Carpentier, hoping that the Frenchman's superior technique would overcome the champion's ferocity. On July the 2nd, 1921, over 90,000 spectators awaited the two fighters at the Jersey City Arena. It was the first $1 million gate in boxing history. Rickard and Jack Cairns, Dempsey's manager, wanted to give the crowd their money's worth. They had taken Dempsey aside and asked him to go easy on the little Frenchie. First-round knockouts are bad for business. For the first time in history, the media went transatlantic. 200,000 people crowded into the Place de la Concorde to hear a barely audible blow-by-blow commentary. Although Carpentier was the crowd's favourite, it was Dempsey who generated the excitement. Hunched up, head down, humming as he went, he battled forward relentlessly. Carpentier, a skillful boxer, hung on gamely. But by the end of the first round, it was looking grim for the Orchid Man. In the second round, Carpentier landed solidly, staggering Dempsey. For a brief moment, the tables were turned. But from that moment on, it was over for Carpentier. Dempsey, no longer willing to take any risks, destroyed the Frenchman with a blistering attack in the fourth round. After knocking out Carpentier and winning his next 2 championship fights, the world of showbiz beckoned Dempsey. Dempsey was courted by the giants of Hollywood, including the legendary director D.W. Griffith. He married the sultry actress Estelle Taylor, with whom he toured Europe. But while Dempsey was enjoying the high life, a new challenger emerged, Gene Tunney. A self-taught man, happy to rub shoulders with Scott Fitzgerald and Hemingway, Tunney approached boxing like a science. A successful boxer should have two ends in view: to avoid punishment and to make money. Cool and calculating, he studied films of his opponents and planned his fights with meticulous care. He also knew the value of good PR. Dempsey, returning to the ring after a 3-year absence, had met his match. At the beginning of the fight, Tunney seemed intimidated by Dempsey's naked aggression. Later, he said he felt Dempsey had wanted to kill him. But round after round, the young challenger gradually gained confidence. Tunney first out-jabbed and finally out-slugged Dempsey. Dempsey's sportsmanship, as he warmly congratulated his young opponent, moved America. Defeat had finally won him the nation's heart. Tunney was hailed in his hometown of New York, but elsewhere it was a different story. Tunney was considered a snob. His intellectual pretensions and his hobnobbing with great writers of the time, most notably George Bernard Shaw, didn't endear him to the public. By the time Tunney and Dempsey fought again, there were no prizes for guessing the crowd's favourite. Gene Tunney was irritated by an indifferent crowd. People were welcome to boo him, he said, but they'd have to pay for the privilege. In the 7th round, Dempsey knocked down Tunney with a powerful combination of blows to the head. But he refused to move to a neutral corner in accordance with the new rules, forcing the referee to delay starting his count by 5 seconds. Tunney calmly listened to the count, finally getting up at the last second. The fight later came to be known as the Battle of the Long Count. Back on his feet, Tunney brilliantly avoided Dempsey's furious onslaught. And then in the next round it was Tunney who knocked down the great Dempsey. Dempsey and Tunney, the strong man and the educated dandy, were later to become the best of friends. Tunney retired undefeated in 1928. He set sail for the old world and married a wealthy Greenwich heiress in Rome. When he returned to the United States, he was met with a $500,000 breach of promise suit from a divorcee who claimed he had reneged on a promise to marry her.
I'm going to give you a big kiss for France.
Say, Irene, come here.
What?
What about a kiss for America?
Oh, sure, of course.
Boy!
Now that Gene Tunney had relinquished the title, it was Jack Dempsey, by now a promoter, who organised the match for the succession. The two protagonists were the American Jack Sharkey and the German Max Schmeling.
Can I get high, my young?
Ja.
Und dir auch? Den Kindern hat's gefallen. Und mir hat's auch gefallen.
Max Schmeling had won his first fight with Jack Sharkey when the American was controversially disqualified for landing a low blow. Sharkey won the next fight. Now Schmeling was determined to win back the title fair and square. And there were others too, with their own reasons for wanting him to win. Throughout his career, despite pressure from the Nazis, Schmeling remained loyal to his Jewish manager, Joe Jacobs. It was Jacobs who coined the phrase, "We was robbed."
Hi, bud. How long do you have to do this? About 2 or 3 hours. Strengthens my hands, makes them strong. Just turning around like that, see? Boy, I'm tired,
To earn his crack at the title, Schmeling had first to fight the leading contender, Max Baer, the Sandcastle man. The Baer brothers were notorious for not taking their training seriously, especially the older brother Max. Madcap Maxie liked nothing better than clowning for the spectators. Born to a Jewish-German-Scottish family, Max Baer fought with a Star of David on his trunks. As the fight with Schmeling approached, the joking suddenly stopped. It was 1933. Max thought he'd found something worth fighting about. When the evening finally arrived, he was like a man possessed.
Schmeling on the ropes and lands with left and right hand bombs. Schmeling knows that Baer's right hand can take you out, and he tries to move away from it. Baer sets Schmeling up with a fast left to the midsection. A tremendous overhand right. Schmeling is down.
But before Max Baer could get his chance to fight for the title, a new giant emerged on the scene. It was Mussolini's favourite boxer, the ambling Alp, Primo Carnera.
Yeah, what do you say?
What do you got? Now, just one more right here.
All right.
Can you spare the feet, Carnera?
All right.
Can you spare those feet? What I mean?
Carnera's American manager was the notorious New York racketeer, Bill Duffy.
Say, how long have you been boxing, Primera?
Oh, well, I can say 4.5 years now.
4.5 years? What did you do before you became a boxer?
Oh, a little bit of everything. Carpenter, most carpenter.
You never thought when you were a carpenter that you'd ever ride on a boat like this, did you?
Oh, what do you mean? I expect to go back on Sunday, anyway.
You did, but you probably thought you'd be on one of these boats as a deckhand, didn't you?
Oh, that's so.
There it is, Jimmy. Let me see what you have to win the heavyweight championship of the world with. Open them up. Take them away. But boys, there's the handle, count the money.
Carnera beat Sharkey in 6 rounds, but the spoils belonged to others. His handlers took most of the money. Mussolini appropriated the glory. The ambling Alp returned to Rome to a hero's welcome. His victory had become a victory for fascism. On October the 22nd, 1933, Mussolini presided over the carnival surrounding Carnera's defence of his heavyweight title against the Basque, Paulino Euskadin. Wearing a black shirt in the ring, Carnera won again. He returned to America for an exhibition tour which made his handlers $20,000, but he didn't see much of the money. With Carnera, Boxing had turned into a circus, and he was the clown. He even had trouble skipping rope, but he usually beat the kangaroo. Max Baer was amused too. He could see the title within his grasp.
My female intuition tells me I'm going to win, Jack.
Well, that's good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Max.
The film of the fight between Baer and Carnera was a comedy hit in cinemas across the globe. The helpless, bumbling Carnera became a national joke. Winning the heavyweight title, Baer married one of his social workers, as he liked to call the groupies who constantly hovered around him. Barely a year later, still preferring fun and games to real training, he was defeated by the Cinderella Man, Jimmy Braddock, a 10-1 underdog. But a brilliant new star was already on the rise.
Who's that? O'Meyer. What's his name?
Him? Joe Louis.
Joe Louis.
After losing to Braddock, Baer was fed as fodder to Joe Louis, the brown bomber. It was the mid-30s, the age of Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal. Joe Louis was boxing's new big deal. Black America had its first great hero.
Well, I'll tell you, I saw more than one Joe Louis in that ring. It looked like whole Harlem was there. In this little ray of sunshine, you know, he couldn't go through those clouds. Too many dark ones.
Knocking out Max Baer was Joe Louis's wedding gift to his first wife, Marva Trotter.
Doubly happy.
Yeah,
what makes you more happy, to beat Baer or to be married to this charming lady?
I think to be married.
Was it a tough fight, Mr. Louis?
Yeah, it was a tough fight, but I think I had my toughest fight home every night.
How about a nice big kiss to finish it? Yeah.
That won't happen.
If Joe Louis was Black America's first great hero, he was also a totem of free world democracy. Hitler determined that Max Schmeling should come back and deal a blow on behalf of the Aryan race.
May the best man win.
I seen Joe Louis last December to fight Paulino. I seen the picture of the Louis and Max Baer fight. I think I have a great chance to beat him.
Have you discovered any particular weakness in the brown bomber?
Yes, I did, but I won't tell.
You done any training for this fight, Max?
Yes, I kept always in condition.
Overconfident and certain of victory, Joe Louis showed little respect for Schmeling. Like Gene Tunney, Schmeling always studied film of his opponent's fights to spot their flaws. He would later say he had noticed that Louis always dropped his left hand after jabbing, leaving himself open to a right cross.
Für das Ansehen des deutschen Volkes in Amerika gekämpft haben.
Schmeling was a reluctant hero, ill at ease performing the Nazi salute. He was not the National Socialist the press delighted in describing, any more than Carnera had ever been a true fascist. For the Nazis, Schmeling's victory was a national triumph. Further glory came in the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin, where Germany won 33 gold medals against only 24 for the United States. 2 years later, it was time for Schmeling to add the final touch to Germany's athletic dominance. The return match with Louis would take place in New York, and this time the world title was at stake.
Wearing black trunks, the famous Detroit Brown Bomber, world's heavyweight champion, Joe Louis.
The Joe Louis meeting Max Schmeling this time was a vastly improved fighter, faster, stronger, and more ferocious. The return fight was no contest. Schmeling was totally destroyed in 2 minutes and 4 seconds of the first round. In that time, 40 punches from Lewis had hit their target. Schmeling returned home to Germany. This time there was no hero's welcome. He was called up as a paratrooper. Schmeling's departure also marked the end of an era, that of the great European heavyweights. Lewis was perhaps the greatest heavyweight the world has ever known. He defended his title over 20 times in 4 years. It was a record that has never been matched, and probably never will be. It could have been a still greater achievement had the war not intervened.
They are fighting in the front line of civilization at this moment, and they are holding that line. From America, they need tanks and guns and ammunition. From America, they will get tanks and guns and ammunition. From America, they need planes. They will get planes. Yes, from America, they need food. And from America, they will get food. Never in all our history of America faced a job so well worthwhile.
Like millions of young Americans, Lewis was drafted. And of course the military didn't overlook his PR potential.
This is an official message from the War Department to all you men and women who turn out equipment for our Army and Navy. I want you to meet one of the greatest fighters of all time, Sergeant Joe Louis, a heavyweight champion of the world. Sergeant Louis.
I wish I could talk to all you folks who wakes.
Shy and ill at ease, but always generous, Joe Louis donated all the earnings from 2 of his fights to U.S. Army relief.
To all you folks who wait for the warrior. I've got an interesting job in this Army. I go around to Army camps and give boxing exhibition. Then I talk to our soldiers about training. I try to tell them all about building up big muscles. I've gone into some hard fights, but these soldiers are going in. Let's cut again.
Cut it.
All the great heavyweight champions joined the war effort. True to form, Max Baer kept on clowning while he signed up for the army. Tunney headed for the Pacific, while Dempsey, the draft dodger, joined the US Coast Guard and went on wooing the cameras at the age of 50. Some people said he had a war to catch up on. In France, the Vichy government had plans for Dempsey's old rival. They wanted to celebrate the 50th birthday of Georges Carpentier, an authentic hero of the First World War. A possibly psychosomatic bout of sciatica prevented him from putting on a show, but he was forced to participate nonetheless.
Une minute avant, la souscription populaire de la France socialiste avait valu à Carpentier chronomètre et bracelet d'or. Enfin, suprême consécration, le colonel Pasco, commissaire général au sport.
Want to know? Take a look at Brown Bomber Joe. That's what the well-dressed man in Harlem will wear. One man, shade of green, all outlet dressed on the that's what the well-dressed man in Harlem will wear. That's really on the base stuff, with the tin hat for old people. That's what the well-dressed man in Harlem will wear.
Joe Louis returned to the ring, but war had robbed him of his best years. It was a sluggish brown bomber who faced Jersey Joe Walcott on the 25th of June 1948 in the midst of the McCarthy years. In the audience were Bob Hope, the perennial wartime entertainer, J. Edgar Hoover, almighty head of the FBI, and Adolphe Menjou, silent film actor and notorious witness in the witch hunts. In the 11th round, Walcott was leading on points, boxing brilliantly to keep Lewis off balance. But Lewis finally broke through Walcott's defence.
I've been champion of the world for 11 years and 3 days. I've defended my championship 25 times. I think I've been told to retire now.
What are you going to do in the future, Joe?
Well, what I'm going to do in the future now is relax and play a lot of golf.
But Lewis didn't enjoy his retirement for long. Swindled repeatedly and harassed by tax collectors who had forgotten the champion's generosity during the war, Lewis attempted 2 comebacks, the last against a new rising star of the ring, Rocky Marciano.
You have behind you a great record as a great fighter. You've always been clean, you've always been a man who gave mighty well of yourself in the ring. Rocky, you've done a good job. You're on the way up. I want good sportsmanship, good fighting there tonight. And I'm positive I can depend on both of you for it. Best of luck to both of you.
Hello, boxing fans, wherever you may be, but especially to those in New England. I'm in good shape for this fight, and I hope I come through all right. Hold it there, Rocky. Don't go.
The dramatic knockout of Joe Louis marked the end of a fighting generation. In the early post-war years, the new champion of the world, Ezzard Charles, the Cincinnati Cobra, and Joe Walcott fought for the title 4 times. Walcott won the 3rd time to take the title at the age of 37. It was time for Marciano to seize the crown. Just 5 feet 11 and weighing barely 13 stone, Marciano developed his power thanks to one of the most punishing training regimes boxing has ever known. He was as strong and fresh in the 15th round as he was in the 1st, and he was mean. As his trainer Charlie Goldman used to say, when Marciano landed his famous Susie Q, a short left and a punishing right, the damage could be measured on the Richter scale. Marciano was the eldest of 6 children, and his Italian immigrant parents had settled in Brockton, Massachusetts. They say Rocky got his physical power from his mother. The Brockton blockbuster brought an unprecedented ferocity to the ring which transfixed the nation. His technique may have looked crude, but it was frighteningly effective. He smashed his opponents with attacks of devastating power, never letting up, demolishing his challengers one by one.
Made a mistake here. What is that? What are you, crazy? No, wait, no!
Outside the ring, Marciano slipped easily into the showbiz world. He was the perfect champion, the idol of the post-war generation. He never put a foot wrong.
Oh, baby, please take me back with you. I love you, I still do. Oh, baby, please take me.
I would like to announce my retirement from boxing at this time. I did never really get hurt in the ring, and I feel perfect physically, and probably still had 2 or 3 good fights left. I like to profit by others' mistakes, and if Joe Louis couldn't make a successful comeback, I will not try it.
Rocky, who do you think is the best contender in the ring right today for heavyweight honors?
Well, I say that Archie Moore has a good chance, along with Floyd Patterson.
With the retirement of Marciano and the advent of the young Floyd Patterson, America had seen the last of the great white heavyweights. But the new black world champion appealed to everything that Americans liked in their fighters. But Cassius Marcellus Clay was different. In the summer of 1960, he returned from Rome to his native Kentucky after winning an Olympic gold medal. Clay was only 18 when he signed his first professional contract with a syndicate of millionaire white businessmen. He was guaranteed $10,000 in cash, plus a salary of $4,000 a year, plus 50% of all receipts. His first opponent was a former police officer by the name of Tunney Unsacker.
Cassius, how do you feel today?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I hear you met Don Juan today. How was he?
Yeah. He wasn't too friendly.
What do you have to say?
He didn't even shake my hand.
What are you going to do about that?
Now you must fall. Whoever stands in my path at that time, either Liston or Patterson, one of them will fall.
The young Clay was making a name for himself. But in the meantime, the show went on. Patterson, against the wishes of his trainer, Cus D'Amato, insisted on defending his title against Sonny Liston. Liston was one of 25 children of an Arkansas cotton farmer and had learnt his craft in prison while serving a 5-year term for burglary. He had a reputation as a hoodlum with gangster connections. He was everything that Patterson wasn't. Patterson was putty in Liston's hands. Meanwhile, in London, Clay defeated a brave Henry Cooper. Clay's excited description of the fight signalled the opening shots of a wild publicity campaign as he approached his bout with Liston.
I walked into London, England, I jumped out the airplane. Picture, cameramen, everywhere I go. You can look in the gym today. The TV, the cameramen, everybody follows me. I'm so great. And 55,000 people came that night. You should have seen the people. 1 layer, 2 layers, 10,000 on each layer, 15, 20 on some. 4 layers on the 5th layer. People were looking down on the ring. Clay comes out to meet Liston, and Liston starts to retreat. If Liston goes back an inch farther, he'll end up in the ringside seat. Clay swings with his left. Clay swings with his right. Look at young Cassius carry the fight. Liston keeps backing, but there's not enough room. It's a matter of time. Clay lowers the boom. Now Liston disappears from view. The crowd is getting frantic, but our radar stations have picked him up. He is somewhere over the Atlantic. Liston is still rising, and the ref wears a frown, but he can't start counting till Sonny comes down. Who would have thought when they came to the fight that they had witnessed the launching of a human satellite? I'm for real, man. You just get past Patterson. I'm ranked number 2. Jones will fall in 5.
Sonny, come over and make that offer. Come over and make that offer.
And you be there to see it, you hear? Man, I don't get hit. I'm the fastest thing on 2 feet, man. You crazy?
On the morning before the fight, Clay had reached fever pitch. At the weigh-in, he could barely control himself. He predicted a win in 8. Liston thought 2 would be enough. Clay was a 7-1 underdog, but he danced rings round Liston, dealing out fierce punishment on the way. The young challenger gave the world a lesson in boxing. Liston looked crude and slow in comparison, his feet unable to keep up with an opponent 10 years his junior. Badly beaten, Liston suddenly succumbed to a mysterious shoulder injury and failed to answer the bell for the 7th round. Clay went into orbit.
They might be stopping it. That might be all, ladies and gentlemen. Get up there, Joe. Get up there. Get up in the ring.
His massive self-confidence had been vindicated. He had shaken up the world, and this was only the beginning.
I am the king of the world. Hold it. I'm pretty. Hold it. You're not that pretty. I'm a man. Wait. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. You must listen to me. I am the double. All right, hold it. Ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you this. Joe, wait, hold it. They're throwing the tent, but I don't think so. All right, tell us this. All right, Cash. Thank you. Cash is Clay, the heavyweight champion. Let's get our champion, Joe Louis, over here.
You have to read the history of slavery to understand. There were two kinds of Negroes. There was that old house Negro and the field Negro. And the house Negro always looked out for his master. He ate the same food his master ate and wore his same clothes. And he could talk just like his master. Good diction.
In the 1960s, many American blacks were attracted to the charisma of Malcolm X, a Harlem preacher who espoused Islam. He had served time in prison and advocated separatism of the white and black races.
But then you had some field Negroes who lived in huts, had nothing to lose. They wore the worst kind of clothes, they ate the worst food, and they caught hell. They felt the sting of the lash. They hated their master. Oh, yes, they did. If the master got sick, they prayed that the master died.
Clay converted to Islam and forged an association with Malcolm X and the black Muslims. "I believe Allah has a purpose for me," said Clay. "Being the world champion is just a part of it." In 1964, he travelled to Africa, where he married Sonji Roy in a Muslim ceremony. On February the 21st, 1965, Malcolm X was assassinated in the middle of Harlem. Clay dropped what he called his slave name to become Muhammad Ali. hence the boos and jeers of the white crowd as he entered the ring for his return match with Liston on May the 25th, 1965.
The heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali.
The referee is former heavyweight champion, Jersey Joe Walcott.
I'm not going to go with a lot of preliminaries. I know you both know the rules of Maine, so I'm in here to enforce them. So I'll say to you, keep your punches up, protect yourself at all times. Good luck. Shake hands, come out fighting.
The champion says a prayer in his corner. Clay takes the lead at the start. As he did the night he won the title, Clay uses the ring, makes Liston look slow.
It seemed to be a phantom punch that knocked out Liston in the first round. Nobody was happy with the outcome. By 1965, US forces in Vietnam numbered 125,000. Muhammad Ali, like most young blacks, was drafted for military service.
We believe in obeying the laws of the land. We are taught to obey the laws of the land as long as it don't conflict with our religious beliefs. Whatever the punishment, whatever the persecution is for standing up for my religious beliefs, even if it means facing machine gun fire that day, I will face it before denouncing Elijah Muhammad and the religion of Islam. I'm ready to die.
By refusing to join the US Army, arguing that he saw no reason why he, a black man, should be sent away to kill yellow people, Ali shocked America. He was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment pending appeal, a $10,000 fine, and was stripped of his title. At the Olympics in Mexico, while other athletes raised black glove fists on the winner's podium, the young George Foreman, winner of the heavyweight gold medal, made a point of waving the American flag. This was the decade when America took to the streets. Ali was one of the few famous black Americans who could talk to white radicals and receive a hearing.
All the good cowboys ride the white horses. The White House. Angel food cake is the white cake, but the devil food cake is the chocolate cake. Now, I'm sure if there's a heaven in the sky and the colored folks die and go to heaven, where are the colored angels? They must be in the kitchen preparing the milk and honey.
Oh, that's fine. What's that? Embalming fluid. Why wait?
As the 60s reached their end, the great white heavyweights of the century gathered for the inauguration of the new Madison Square Garden, shrine of New York boxing. Portly, but still game, Rocky Marciano, Jack Dempsey, and Gene Tunney waltzed around the ring. Meanwhile, just round the corner, singing in a small Broadway theatre, paying for his lawyers and providing for his family, was the renegade Muhammad Ali.
In a sky so light, it seems Snow White on one bright morning soon. Dancing in the sky, you're gonna spy up high a black balloon.
Ali returned to boxing in 1970. His first fight that year was on October the 26th. Then finally, on June the 28th, 1971, 8 out of 9 US Supreme Court judges declared that he had been unjustly convicted. A page in history had been turned.
Dancing feet beneath big black balloon.
After only 2 comeback fights, Ali challenged Joe Frazier, the world champion who had inherited his crown but had never fought him. Ali had lost 3.5 years at his peak. Some said his lightning speed had gone. He wanted to prove them wrong.
Nowhere in the world from a man that don't have no footwork to catch me. Even a welterweight. Keep the camera moving because I'm kind of fast. Keep the camera moving. This is Joe Frazier fighting me. Punches around, see? This is Joe Frazier. He's trying to duck. He's going to catch him. And a real boxer, this is nothing but a target for a man who can stay on his toes, who can stick him. Stay off range when he don't want to punch. When he's ready to punch, move in, stick. That's what you do a man like Joe Frazier. Back off of him, keep boxing.
On the 8th of March 1971 in New York, for the first time ever, 2 undefeated world heavyweight champions faced each other in the ring. For once, Ali's doubters were proved right. The speed had slowed. The reflexes were blunted.
Ali shakes his head. He's signaling to his fans that Frazier didn't hit him. Ali tells Frazier that didn't hurt.
I really think the guy's kind of sick in the head with it. Because some part of the fight he rapped off and said, "Don't you know I'm God?" So he keeps saying this, you know what I mean? Every time you throw a punch, you know, "Don't you know I'm God?" And I got under some of them punches and I said, "Well, God, you're going to get whipped tonight."
Both men ripping, tearing, bombing punches at each other. This is what the crowd came to see. Ali tells Joe, "Come on back." And come back he does. Ali almost goes down. Ali in desperate trouble. Ali holding on. Frazier trying to end it here in round 11. Muhammad Ali, rubbery leg, obviously in desperate trouble here in the 11th round, and there's the bell. An explosive left to the jaw, and Muhammad Ali goes down. Let's watch this perfectly timed left to the jaw.
Frazier clinched a narrow points victory, and both boxers went straight to hospital. Ali's face was swollen like a football. A few days after the fight, Frazier celebrated in the company of his guests who included Jack Dempsey, Duke Ellington and Count Basie. Frazier planned a second career with his own band, the Knockouts.
Last night he said that he didn't think you wanted to fight him again.
Oh, how wrong he is, boy. You know, like right now, I don't have to, after a week or two go by, it'll all come back to me. But right now, I want to rest and go home and relieve myself of this swollen jaw.
I'm going to retire till he come back. I'm going to sing rock and roll till, let's say Muhammad Ali, what y'all call him, I call him Cassius Clay, get ready to come back. I'll retire and spend time with my band until he get ready to come back.
But while he waited for Ali, Frazier agreed to fight George Foreman in what was considered a mere warm-up match. But it was Foreman doing the warming up as he pummeled Frazier like a human punch bag. It was all over in 2 rounds. A few months later, Ali was named as challenger to the awesome Foreman, who was now widely regarded as unbeatable.
I never worry about hitting power. So a man like George that comes out with those big... That's why he throw him, he draws them back. Hey, watch out, here come the left. Here come the right. Get ready, here come another left. That's what I hear when he's throwing them. So when I don't believe that I'm going to be knocked out and punched around. Experience.
The 30th of October, 1974. 60,000 spectators crowded into the Kinshasa Stadium in Zaire. Ali versus Foreman, the rumble in the jungle, a night immortalized in Norman Mailer's book, The Fight. Each protagonist had accepted the astronomical purse of $5 million, but for Ali, the African soil seemed more important than mere dollars. Nobody knows whether Ali and his associates had any influence over the fight's late start time. Whatever, they were stealing the show, while Foreman was losing his nerve. Before returning to the changing room, Ali went into the ring in order to study it closely. It was rumoured that he had the ropes loosened. This was just one of the many myths that surrounded that extraordinary Zairean night.
I see it in the eyes. I see fear in the eyes of all of his followers. I see fear. This was the fight that Muhammad Ali was supposed to be ended. The myth of Muhammad was supposed to fall. This was supposed to be my destruction. This was supposed to be my destruction.
Round one, Ali bouncing around, shifting left for right. George moves slow. Ali gets the first punch in. A light right hand taken on the forehead by George Foreman, the champion. Foreman moving slow, trying to stalk his man. Ali looks like he's ready to go here. He's not staying away. He's going after his man. Foreman comes in. Foreman a bit cautious in the first round, looking to drop that left hook. To the body of Muhammad Ali. That's Ali on your right. Foreman on the left. A wild left hand thrown by George Foreman. Taken on the side of the head of Ali. The pace is tremendous in round one. George Foreman with his face for you. Ali to the left. Ali tries to tie him up. He's leaning on Foreman. Foreman with a vicious uppercut misses. targeted for the head of Ali. Ali stands back, ties his man up, leans on the rope. One did. Two wild right hands taken on the side of the head of Muhammad Ali. Ali continues to try to tie his man up. Zach Clayton separates him. Wild left hand, vicious hook. There's a real strong right hand just underneath the heart. And Muhammad Ali is taking some punishment now. About 25 seconds left in the round. Ali feints left, throws the straight right hand. That right hand lead has George Foreman slightly confused, but a straight left jab thrown by Foreman has Ali in the corner. Ali dances back, hangs on. What a tremendous pace in round number one. Vicious right thrown to the body of Ali. Wild right misses the head of Ali. The left taken on the glove of Ali, the right glove. Foreman pouring. Foreman trying to set him up. Ali, this is a cruising round for him. Foreman wailing away, and Ali says to take a best shot. Ali throwing a good pass. Backs up Foreman. Backs him up in his track. Foreman tries to look. Ali throws to the right. Foreman comes back to the left. Foreman hit again. Ali working to the head of George Foreman. Ali scores again with a light left hand. That time a straight left bounces the head back of Foreman. A quick short jab with the right hand bounces the head around of Foreman. Foreman looking to deliver the real heavy blows. Now he's bouncing better. Almost falls out of the ring. Muhammad Ali is bouncing around pretty good for the 24-year-old Foreman, hanging pretty tough in there. Again, I caution you to look for the one punch that George Foreman can deliver at any time. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. It's the combination.
In the 8th round, Foreman's arms flailed wildly as he collapsed for the count, fooled by an opponent who had sensed his lack of endurance. Ali, far from being trapped on the ropes, was simply biding his time, minimizing Foreman's punches and conserving energy. The dope had been roped. Once again, as with Gene Tunney 50 years earlier, cleverness had triumphed.
This is the most joyous scene ever seen in the history of boxing. This is an incredible scene.
You can't say my legs are gone. You can't say I was tired, because what happened? I didn't dance from the second round on. I stayed on the ropes. When I stay on the ropes, you think I'm doing bad. But I want all boxers to put this in the page of boxing. Staying on the ropes is a beautiful thing with a heavyweight when you make him shoot his best shots and you know he's not hitting you. I would have gave George Foreman 2 rounds of steady punching, because after that he's swinging like a sissy. He was mine. I told you I'm the real champion. I told you I'm the champion of the world. All of you bow. All of my critics crawl. All of you suckers who write the Ring magazine, Boxing Illustrated, all of you suckers bow, because the stage was set. You made him great. You made him a bad Joe Louis. You made him a hard puncher. But I want everybody from this moment on to recognize me as the scholar of boxing. Assalamu alaikum to all the Muslims. Thanks to Almighty God Allah. I want all of you fans out there who believe in me, read the Muhammad Speaks newspapers, go to your local Muslim temple and learn more about the life-giving power from Allah through Elijah Muhammad that I've got. You saw all the white people, the critics, the world had me ranked to go down. This was that man, and Allah, God was with me, and this man looked like nothing.
A year after Kinshasa, Ali defended his regained heavyweight championship against his old adversary, Joe Frazier. The Thriller in Manila was their 3rd fight and the biggest of them all. Frazier, thoroughly beaten, could not answer the bell for the 15th round. Ali, totally drained, raised a victorious arm before collapsing in the ring. The glory years were gone.
was so tired, so exhausted, so weak, I barely could walk out of the ring. And they had to carry me out, and I was so down. So I said that this is next to death. The only thing that could have been worse was dying.
The most successful heavyweight of the 1980s was Mike Tyson.
Look, just relax, Michael, relax, just relax. Just relax. Relax. Yeah, but just relax. Just relax.
When we first started.
Yeah, well, just relax.
I can't walk well, remember?
Yeah.
I'm Mike Tyson. Everybody likes me.
Yeah, everyone likes you now. That's right, you have a reason to be proud. Let's go get ready for a fight. Come on.
As young fighters, all the great US post-war champions had won Olympic gold medals: Patterson, Clay, Frazier, Foreman. But Mike Tyson never made it to the Games. Released from a juvenile delinquent center at the age of 13, Tyson was taken under the wing of Cus D'Amato, the trainer who had made Floyd Patterson and who was now intent on molding him.
Hands up when you pull out.
You gotta score points when you get his dad. So score points like you're doing the amateurs. And spring to the side. Move your head. Move your head.
See that? Tell me something, girl.
Fine.
D'Amato died on November the 7th, 1985. He had been like a father to Tyson, and the loss affected him deeply. On November the 22nd, 1986, Tyson fought Trevor Berbick for the WBC title. It was Berbick who had defeated Muhammad Ali 5 years earlier in Ali's final fight. Aged just 20, Tyson demolished Berbick to become the youngest world heavyweight champion in history.
If you get in close and I'll tell you to break your stop punching and step back clean. Any question from the challenger or chief second? Any question from the champion or chief second? All right, let's get it on, come on.
Mr. Tyson.
Tyson and his manager, Bill Caton, came to London to promote his upcoming fight with Frank Bruno. The city slicker bowler hat may have looked absurd, but it was oddly appropriate. By this time, Tyson was already worth $20 million.
Now lift it up. Now a bit more up.
I'm 21 now, and I still feel like I'm 15. I had love from Carson and Camille, and I was just happy. You know what I mean? I never thought about making a lot of money, having money and everything. I was just happy. Just plain old fun made me happy. I didn't have as many responsibilities as now.
In the 1980s, TV rights meant that even more money could be made from boxing. There were now 3 heavyweight titles. Tyson beat Bone Crusher Smith to win the WBA title and defeated Tony Tucker to win the IBF title. Tyson became undisputed heavyweight champion.
I'm going down in history, not Mike Tyson. He go down in history as a SOB. If he do happen to win the fight, down the line, he's going to destroy himself.
But sometimes a great old fighter who appears to be shot can pull together one big effort.
Look at Larry Holmes. Look at the jab.
Right here.
Look at the jab. It's starting to stick out and snap.
The former champion, Larry Holmes, came out of retirement at the age of 38 to challenge Tyson. At the beginning of the fight, Holmes boxed superbly, but Tyson was determined to crush him.
Bring out to you. Let's go. You got the whole control.
Tremendous finisher.
It will take every bit of savvy that this man has. Tries to fight back. Still 40 seconds left.
He's still on Chris Street.
And took another big right hand. 30 seconds left. Tyson just looking for the one shot.
Well,
15 seconds left.
Tyson still has to be careful because Larry... Oh, that shot. That's
huge
it.
Right hand.
That should be it.
And down goes Holmes, and that's going to be it. It's over. That's all.
The soap opera star Robin Givens entered Tyson's life. The king thought he had found his queen.
I could tell you that a person very close to us, he offered him money, $50,000, to help us get a divorce. He said he'd stop at nothing less than our getting a divorce. This is like something out of Dynasty.
With Givens, Tyson moved into a glitzier circle. And it was around this time that the boxing overlord Don King began to wield his influence.
Power, power, power. Now, you are playing with power.
Punch-Out! Mike Tyson's Punch-Out from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
Now we'll see who's the champion and who's the chump.
Tyson confirmed his dominance with a first-round defeat of Michael Spinks. But he was beginning to lose the plot in and out of the ring. There were attacks, rows, accidents or suicide attempts, and divorce. In 1956, Sonny Liston had got into boxing via prison. Soon, Tyson, Trevor Berbick and others would show that the reverse journey was just as feasible. Times had changed, and so had boxing. On the 25th of February 1989, Tyson beat Frank Bruno in Las Vegas, but there were already signs that he was not the boxer he had once been. Bruno had staggered Tyson in the first round, and the once invincible champion was beginning to look like a mere mortal.
As suddenly as that.
Can he beat?
Nemesis came in the form of James Buster Douglas in Tokyo on February the 11th, 1990.
Douglas coming back with a left and right. Tyson is wobbling. Tyson needs the ropes for support. Douglas wailing away. Without the ropes, Mike would have gone down. A desperate one-eyed fighter. Brawling willingly just to try to get in the shot that will finish things in.
Oh, the uppercut.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson.
It's over. It's over.
Mike Tyson has been knocked out.
On February the 10th, 1992, Tyson was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment for rape. He was released in March 1995. The magnificent Ali is mentally shattered and suffering from Parkinson's disease. Marciano died at 46 in a plane crash and was unable to enjoy the wealth he had so single-mindedly attained with his unbeaten 49 fight record. Joe Louis ended his life working in a Las Vegas casino, welcoming gamblers in pursuit of the kind of fortune he had lost. Max Baer suffered a heart attack in a Hollywood hotel. To the waiter who asked if he wanted to see the house doctor, he replied, "I'd rather see a people doctor." The only consolation for Carnera, robbed by gangsters of everything except his liquor, was to die of cirrhosis in his native Italy. Max Schmeling abandoned the glamour of the ring for the security of corporate life. He became the chairman of Coca-Cola in Germany. Tunney and Dempsey, friends to the end, lived into old age to show that kings could benefit from their conquests. Kings of the Ring.